So yesterday, as we all know, the Democrats are in full-blown panic mode. And Obama and Pelosi, as reports are showing, are looking at whatever option they can do to maybe replace Joe Biden. Now, I would say this to Democratic leadership. You sat on your hands, you kicked the can down the road as much as you can, and now you're out of road, your hands are numb, and people are laughing at you because you just crapped your pants out of fear that you guys are going to lose terribly in the 2024 election cycle. Now, they had 2 years to fix this problem. They could have solved this problem, but they chose not to because they want to live in their own reality. And the reality is this: corporate media can't hide it anymore. Corporate media, CNN, MSNBC, you can't hide it anymore. I want to pull up this video here. Anderson Cooper, Vanderbilt. That was mean. Now I'm being mean. Talks about how Pelosi and Obama are looking for a backroom deal, no pull out or try to pull out of the Biden-Harris campaign of 2024. Chicago will be interesting.
We are learning tonight that throughout the course of this week, as we've seen the public words from former Speaker Nancy Pelosi, we're learning that she has had a private conversation earlier this week with former President Barack Obama. They have talked about this matter. We do not know exactly the contents of that private conversation, but we do know, talking to a variety of Democrats in a news story just posted moments ago, Isaac DeVera and I talked to many Democrats who are looking to Pelosi and Obama to sort of find a way out of this infighting and crisis that has dominated the Democratic Party. Now, they have intentionally given the president
infighting. I thought you guys were a united front. Infighting? I thought all Democrats are working together. Boy, oh boy, the shock on Bernie Sanders' face, the egg on his face. Just remember, folks, Biden is Bernie Sanders' good friend, his buddy, his pal, his good friend Joe, his buddy, his friend Joe.
His space and his time on this, but we have seen Speaker Pelosi's very carefully calibrated words. But the new information we are learning that she has had a conversation, perhaps more than one of them, with Barack Obama. Of course, this is very fraught for former President Barack Obama. He has a friendly and loyal relationship with President Biden, but it's also a searing one dating back to 2015 when he urged him not to run for president then against Hillary Clinton. That still hangs over all.
Wow. Jeez. So Obama said, listen, Biden, Hillary's running, and do you really want to be on the hit list? No, Jack, I don't want to be on the hit list. Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's not a good idea. Plus, I'm starting to forget things. Well, after all, Hillary's got this in the bag, right, Obama? Oh, yep, that's very true, Joe. But turns out, oh, no. By the way, folks, the reason why Obama is so involved in this is because Obama made a phone call on that Super Tuesday. Remember? We all remember. The Klobuchar, the Buttigieg, and everyone else drop out of the race. Go for Joe. Because Bernie Sanders was winning. There was a point. Bernie was winning. And then Bernie told us all to go to hell.
All of this. I'm told he does not want to be too assertive. He does not want to push too much. But it is clear that many Democrats are looking to them to sort of find a way out here.
So Vanderbilt looks constipated in this video here. And yes, am I being mean? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. But there's more to this. Hey, Jen Psaki, weren't you part of this administration? I bet you got some secret sauce information that's going on.
Is the White House and the campaign ready for this moment, which is news is breaking every hour about the president and about your campaign? Are they ready for this? Because the last 3 years, I don't want to say have been easy because they're never easy, I know, but they've been nothing like this.
It's so interesting. It's an interesting question because it's like, what does it mean to be ready for it, right? They have to be. They don't really have another choice. I think that the question is, what is the plan moving forward? And I think 99% of them don't know the answer to that question, right? For all intents and purposes, if you're on the campaign in the White House, Joe Biden has said he's running. He's going to stick it out as a nominee. That is what you were planning to do. Is that what the result ends up being?
No, it's not. The answer is no. The result is this. Biden twice has made himself, not twice, numerous times, but now it's highlighted, especially after that debate. And yes, we do have to bring it up because that debate, thank you, God, Emperor of mankind. May you sit gloriously upon your golden throne. Thank you, Saint Abachan. Listen, folks, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. It proved all of the critics of the Biden-Harris administration to be factually correct, that there's something wrong with Joe Biden. Everybody saw it during the early stages of the primary in 2019, throughout the entire general election in 2020, and after when Joe Biden got into the White House, that there was something wrong with Joe Biden, that he was on this severe decline. But yet, no, saying anything about that, oh, that made you ageist, that made you sexist, that made you a secret Trump supporter. Somehow you're this and that and X, Y, Z, and what, you want Trump in the White House? No, I don't. But it comes as no surprise to me that he might very well get into the White House again because of this clownish, foolish, unserious behavior from people in authority. And let this also give you fuel and confidence that when you look at Washington, D.C., and these people in their suits and ties and these donors, they're not these untouchable, godlike figures. I mean, a lot of these people in power in Washington, D.C., or running these major corporations and their families are really effed up and are not that serious. All of you are more professional than anybody else that ever stuck their neck out for Joe Biden. And there's a whole list of people who did it. Never forget all those social media people, those social justice warriors saying, yeah, we got to vote for Biden. Remember their bully campaign? Folks, whatever you do, don't let these people bully you. Trigger them. Earn yourself a position to live rent-free in a liberal's head.
I don't think we know the answer to that
Have you
yet.
been surprised how many leaks there have been in the last 2 weeks?
Very surprised.
Yes, I'm very surprised. Who is doing the leaking? Zip it up. Put it back in your pants. Say it again. You're surprised about the leaking?
I don't think we know the answer to that
Have you
yet.
been surprised how many leaks there have been in the last 2 weeks?
Very surprised. It was not a leaky White House when I was there.
You said that, and man, that could be twisted in so many ways. That's what she said, right? Oh my goodness. It wasn't a leaky White House? You sure? Was Biden not pooping and peeing in his dip pans? Right? Not a leaky White House. People were zipping it up. Made sure they kept the pickle in the pants, right? Say that again, lady.
Have you been surprised how many leaks there have been in the last 2 weeks?
Very surprised. It was not a leaky White House when I was there.
Leaks there have been in the last 2 weeks?
Very surprised. It was not a leaky White House.
Surprised how many leaks there have been in the last 2 weeks?
Very surprised. It was not a leaky White House when I was there.
There have been in the last 2 weeks?
Very surprised. It was not a leaky White House when I was there. And that shows you the frustration and disappointment and anger, which is
and maybe concern.
And maybe
concern. Oh, the concern. The concern. But we can't deny how all of us are feeling. And so many Democrats, so many House representatives have somehow miraculously, guess what? Everyone, I hope you're sitting down. And this is going to be a controversial statement here. And I was surprised as all of you were. Somehow, Palpatine has returned. I mean, oops, I'm sorry. Somehow, Democrats, congressmen and women, found their backbone, found their soul, found their heart, their fire. Some of these congressmen and women, some of the guys found their balls, and some of the ladies found their ovaries of steel. Because now they're all telling Joe Biden, hey, you got to go.
But the hard reality is, and I'm far from the only Democrat who believes this, that the numbers, the trajectory, what Americans feel in their bones right now suggest not only that Joe Biden would lose this race, but that he or we would lose the Senate and the House. And the stakes are so high that we need to set aside that loyalty and that poetry and that romance and the charge of the Light Brigade, and we all go down together in favor of some really hard-nosed analysis. But the hard reality is, and I'm far from the only Democrat who believes this, that the numbers, the trajectory, what Americans...
Yes, they all feel it in their bones. So I actually want to pull up this video here. And it's from our colleagues. I'm just going to play just a few short minutes of it from Due Dissidents, because they did a proper breakdown about it. So let's go and play this video here. Hey, special guests, Keaton and Russell.
All right, so we just saw Joe Biden's make or break press conference, and I think it was neither a make nor break. I think in a certain sense that makes the headaches worse inside the party and inside the campaign, because he was not good enough to turn the momentum around, but he was not bad enough to the point where he'll be out tomorrow.
You earlier explained confidence in your vice president.
Yes.
If your team came back and showed you data that she would fare better against former President Donald Trump, would you reconsider your decision to stay in the race?
No, unless they came back and said, there's no way you can win. Me. No one's saying that. No poll says that.
So now this goes into next week. And now you see the reports from today where you have Biden's inner circle. His aides are saying there's no path. Huffington Post reported that, citing the New York Times reporting. You have his inner circle saying the writing is on the wall, but he didn't give you anything tonight that forces him out of the race tomorrow. So this now goes through the weekend, and you're going to see a lot of shuffling around this weekend. You're going to see a lot of panic. What do we do? Because now the clock is really ticking. The Republican convention is next week. And then the Democrats do plan on nominating Joe Biden virtually early in advance of their convention. So they are now running out of time. This did not deliver a knockout blow to the point where he's going to be out within 24 hours. I think he is in through the weekend. I have said that the party elites are trying not to chime in. Barack Obama would love to get out of this without chiming in. So would Hakeem Jeffries. So would Pelosi. So would Schumer, Clyburn, same thing. I think this forces their hand. You know, you have Biden's staff now saying he can't win, saying we need somebody else. George Clooney in his op-ed said that all of the insiders he talked to, all of them, without exception, felt he should drop out, even the ones who are not saying it publicly.
Right.
If Biden melted down tonight, they'd have gotten out of this probably without having to open their mouth. He'd probably be out tomorrow or over the weekend.
So I want to pause here. We'll post this full 12-minute video under the comment section so that all of you can see it too, because they do a great breakdown about what's wrong with Joe Biden, what's wrong with the Democrats. And the thing is, in the aftermath of this, you know, Keaton called it out. We've all called it out, actually. The Democratic leadership is now looking for a way to replace Biden, to which I have to say to Democrats, you had 2 years to really do this. This is like handing in your homework assignment at like the last minute. Okay. Now, Democrats, it tells me that there was no one of any real credibility or authority that would ever challenge Joe Biden, or either that acknowledge the fact that there's something wrong with Joe Biden. And now you're in panic mode. Now, this relates to the DNC convention because, as I've talked about it, it's going to be happening here in Chicago. The DNC convention, some of it is going to be online. Half of it could be very well be online. There's also been talks about limited access for the press. There's also been talk about more intense security and lockdowns, not only from the Chicago Police Department, but the Illinois State Police, Secret Service, FBI, anybody is going to be there. Now, myself and Daniel, we're going to be there. I know a lot of our colleagues in independent media are going to be there, and we're all going to have to talk because I have no idea how any of us could probably get inside. Maybe some of us will be lucky. Some of us won't be, give or take. Who knows? There will be protesters there, but the DNC has made it very clear that those protesters are going to be miles away. They're making sure that everything runs smoothly, because this DNC convention will not be the snore fest that we saw in 1996, I believe, or 94. Corrections if I got the year wrong. That was when the Clintons got nominated. Ugh. But also, this is it potentially could be maybe a lighter version of what we saw in 1968. I mean, there are a lot of angry people, and Chicago is a hotbed right now. There's a lot of anger towards Brandon Johnson and his administration, and towards the Democratic machine as a whole. There's a lot of angry people in Chicago. And Democrats, you're not helping your situation by having a senile old goat. So Obama and Pelosi, old hagbag Pelosi and Barack Obama, have a choice to make. Do they either go all in for Biden, no pullout, or decide to do a sloppy pullout and put somebody else in? Kamala, one of the governors, who? Who will it be? A bird goes tweet and an owl goes who? This was a disaster for Biden, but he's still holding on. But this is going to resonate and stay. And it's going to play out during the weekend. And if you're telling me that no one is going to keep on calling out for Joe Biden to drop out, the only person who I feel, what? I don't feel sorry for them. I'm still laughing at this clown. You got those TikTokers who still go all in for Biden, especially that one guy, good old Harry. What kind of mental gymnastics are these people doing? I mean, anyone that's still saying, oh, Biden's just fine, how do you look yourselves in the mirror? That's what I want to know. Because right now, Obama and Pelosi are probably looking themselves in the mirror thinking they sacrificed everything to put Joe in the White House, and now everything that they've ever built is being sacrificed on the altar of stopping Donald Trump. You could have stopped him if he actually had the heart and integrity to change yourselves. Maybe if Bernie actually had a backbone. But alas, these people don't. Because, as I've said before, the Democrats, the liberals, the vote blue no matter who crowd, anyone being a paid sponsor or cheerleader for Biden, I love you, but you are not serious people.